The following is a presentation of WGAA Sports.
And welcome in Cedartown High School sports fans. It's Friday Night Lights at the dock, but of a different variety. Cedartown High School soccer here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network. 106.1 FM, AM 1340, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and the NFHS Network. Sam Branch alongside Brian Rohrer. We will be bringing you all of the live play-by-play action of Cedartown High School boys soccer as they play host to the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. The Bulldogs, a 6-game win streak, currently undefeated on the young season, 6-0, 2-0 in region play, while the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes, well, it's a different story for this squad. 1-4 on the season. They have lost 4 straight and are 0-3 in region play so far. But as we were discussing before the broadcast, Brian, this Cartersville team has faced a gauntlet so far in the first 5 games of the season for this squad. And so that record, very reflective of those teams that they has faced off against.
Absolutely, no question, Sam. We're looking at a schedule where Cartersville's had to play the number 1 team in the state, Dalton, the number 15 team in the state, Altoona. So that record may not be quite reflective of their actual skills and ability. Unfortunately, your record is what your record is. This is their 4th game in region play. It's basically a must-win for Cartersville at this point. Going down to a 4th area loss would be very detrimental to their postseason hopes.
So you see that Cartersville, like you just said, coming in with a do or die. Cedartown coming in with a now 6-game win streak with region victories over both the Hiram Hornets as well as the Cass Colonels. This team was last in action a week ago today right here at Cedartown Memorial Stadium as they would face off against the Hornets in an absolutely dominating fashion and a massive win. And so it looks like we will be getting ready to start here in just a few moments. Hopefully the Cedartown Bulldogs are going to be able to continue their dominating performance. We're going to have a lot of different names that we'll call out tonight. Of course, both for the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes, we'll try to get you some of those names, but we'll hopefully get through everybody here in our Cedartown squad. The star of this Cedartown squad, one of the stars that is, Yahir Pineda. He had a fantastic game against Hiram, and if you look back, some of the things that Coach Kevin King described him as, a captain, a magician, and one of their bigger game changers. And so we will keep an eye on Yahir. Of course, he is a senior for this Bulldog squad as the team is huddling up, getting ready to go to work. Cartersville getting set. The Hurricanes come in wearing their white tops, purple bottoms, Canes written in script across the front with purple numbers. Cedartown wearing their all-red uniforms, numbers in white, trimmed in white.
And you were talking about Yahir Pineda. He really is a magician. He's basically the puppet master in the middle of the park. He wears that number 10, which is indicative of the playmaker role. Ended up with a hat trick in that Hiram game. Had a hat trick of assists as well. Leads the Bulldogs in goals and assists on the season.
And we are underway. Cartersville wins that opening kickoff, and the Hurricanes quickly run into the Bulldogs as Cedartown defensively trying to move the ball. Now Cartersville will come across midfield, and it'll be out of bounds. It'll be Cartersville. Possession will remain. The Hurricanes working from right to left on your radio dial. Cartersville sends it inbounds. Now Cedartown will try to defend and work it back across. Right around midfield, Cartersville retreating. Now they'll turn. Good stop there by Tony Pinedo. Cartersville backing it up into their, I guess, defensive area, as you would call it. Is that right, Brian, on the lingo?
Absolutely. We would refer to that as their defensive third of the field.
Defensive third of the field, and now it's out of bounds, and it will be Cartersville, and so they will throw it in from the sideline here. something that's kind of deceiving if you are watching on any of our video streams. The out-of-bounds line does not match up with the out-of-bounds line for the football field, so it actually extends another good, 6 feet maybe, and it's a very light gray line, so you may have some trouble identifying it on your screen, but we will do our best to try to help you with that. And, of course, for those listening on radio, well, welcome to an adventure here on the Big AA. Cartersville's clearing it after Cedartown had moved it into the Cartersville defensive third. And now Cedartown still trying to apply the pressure. Early pressure, early goals would be a good recipe for the Dogs, as they are battling against this very tough Cartersville team who will be able to really show us what they're made of tonight against probably a team that's a little more in their competitive range versus some of the teams they've already faced.
Absolutely, and it's going so far like you would expect in a game like this. It's basically a battle for the right to play for about the first 5 or 10 minutes. Both teams just kind of looking to consolidate possession, get a foothold on the ball, gain some territory, gain some time on the ball. So you kind of see a little bit of frantic play in the middle of the park as they both kind of try to establish themselves.
Cartersville keeper sends it into the middle of the field, and now Cartersville will try to regain possession, but a good stop there by Cedartown. And offensively, they're moving it up the far sideline. And it is flirting with that out-of-bounds line over on the very far sideline, but Cartersville will keep it in play. And now it is out of play. And it will go the direction of the Dogs. So quickly, Cedartown sends it back in bounds. Looking at the middle of the field, it was one-on-one for just a moment, but then Cartersville able to disrupt it. Cedartown, though, still in possession, still applying the pressure. Coming off of that far sideline. Cartersville will disrupt it, try to clear it, but Cedartown is there to keep it with the pressure. Now the Hurricanes trying to break it. They'll bring it across midfield. Cedartown is there on the defensive stop right around the 45-yard line. Two players collide near sideline. And it'll clear, and it'll go back to Cedartown. Now it's one-on-one, now one-on-two, as Cedartown will have to hold up. And he's going to try to go around the Cartersville defense. He'll swing it over to the right side to Pineda. Now from the corner, wanted a shot on the goal, but that one is blocked and out of bounds. Blocked out by Cartersville. So Pineda with an early attempt at a shot there. Disrupted by the Hurricanes.
Great little counterattack there by the Dogs. Just blunted a bit in the end from well-recovered defense from Cartersville.
Pineda sends it in from the near sideline. Now it's right back to him, and then they'll go back towards the goal again. Again, blocked by Cartersville. The Hurricanes trying to clear it. And we've got a stoppage in play there as a Cartersville player goes to the ground. And it looks like Cartersville will get a free kick from around their own, well, if you were looking at it on the football side, around the 22-yard line.
So far, Cartersville's getting a lot of players around the ball in the midfield. That's going to be a little bit difficult for Cedartown to deal with. They're going to have to match those numbers up in the center of the park.
An absolutely beautiful evening, 71 degrees here at the start of the boys' game. The sun almost setting behind the trees there to the west of us. Of course, the Lady Dogs faced off against Cartersville in the game before this and would fall by a final of 5-1 as that one is knocked out of play behind the Cartersville goal. Long run for the ball boy there, unfortunately. That one's going to go all the way to the fence. So Pineda will send it in from the corner near sideline. Cedartown will gather around near the goal. Kick inside. Cartersville tries to move it away. Blocked there by the keeper. I feel like anytime you got a lot of bodies around the goal, that could lead to some trouble.
Absolutely.
But Cartersville able to avert any type of offensive move there by the Bulldogs. Out of bounds again. Cartersville will go from the corner. They will throw it in. We've got two players that get it tied up and a whistle. And Cartersville clears it back in play. Cedartown there, though, to try to move it back up into their zone, but it's out of bounds off of Cedartown, so that'll be another throw in there from Cartersville from the far sideline.
Cartersville's gaining that territory as we see. They've been able to come up from that corner kick just moments ago that they defended to now being at midfield looking to enter into their attacking third.
And it looks like it was done very methodically as well.
Very well.
Cedartown clears it. Now they're going to move into the defensive third almost for Cartersville, but then the Canes able to counter. They stop that attack and send it back Cedartown's way. Now the Dogs on the move again. Offensively trying to move, but it's a 2-on-3 matchup, and Cartersville tries to clear again. That one's going to be out of bounds. So Cedartown will have another throw in from the far sideline. It'll be number 11, Pinedo, for the Dogs that'll send it in. Gets it to Pineda. He'll work it back. Cedartown will adjust. Alex Segura with it. Now we'll send it up the right side. Trying to work it into that near side corner. Torres with it. And it is out off of Torres, so it looks like it'll be Cartersville with the throw in from the near sideline.
Well defended by the left back out in space, 1v1 to win the throw off of Torres. Unlucky for Torres there.
Cartersville unable to clear. There's a shot there towards the goal, but a stop by Cartersville. Cedartown, though, still maintaining possession. And the keeper will come up for Cartersville and make the grab. And he'll send everybody the other direction. Kick there by the keeper. And a header there by Cedartown sends it back the direction of the Hurricanes. But then they're able to reverse course once again. A lot of back and forth in soccer. Speed and agility. Also a whole lot of toughness, though. This is an extremely physical game. And just these guys have to be in top-notch shape.
No question. It's definitely a contact sport, and you don't have quite the padding that other sports have.
And there's contact just as you say that, right on the far sideline. Cartersville will have it right around the 40-yard line, so that'll be moving into their attacking third. And a situation here for Cedartown to put up some good defense. This is really the first time that we've seen Cartersville be able to set up on that side of the field. We saw them momentarily, but then Cedartown was able to reverse it. And once again, the defense for the Cedartown Bulldogs stands tall, but then it's reversed again by the Hurricanes. So Cartersville still in the attacking mode, trying to work it back to the middle of the field. Cedartown trying to clear it, and they'll do so up in the near sideline. Midfield, now we move it into our attacking third. Cedartown with a little bit of momentum, but then it's going to be stopped as Cartersville was able to put a lot of bodies around the ball in reverse course for the Hurricanes. Again, trying to clear it. And they'll push it into midfield again. This time Cartersville trying to go on the attack, but it's a 2-on-1. Cedartown with the numbers. Near sideline. Cedartown will regain it in the end zone. And now try to push it up in the near sideline, but Cartersville is there to reverse it again. Shot, and that is a goal there from the near sideline from the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes, and that puts the Canes on the board.
Wow, unlucky against the run of play just a little bit. See number 7 there for Cartersville. That's Edgar Abeja. He's got 2 assists on the season. Ended up in a battle with the right back for Cedartown. Was able to just snatch a shot there. Went inside the near post. Unlucky for Cedartown. Always hate to get beat at the near post as a goalkeeper. I think he was a little bit surprised that shot came off as quickly as it did.
So that comes with almost 30 minutes in the half. Cartersville on the board, 1-0. Cedartown will line it up midfield. And we'll go on the attack once again. Dogs push it up far sideline now. Again, Cedartown working around the midfield. We'll bring it back to the middle of the pitch there, and then this one is going to go out of bounds. A little bit of miscommunication, I believe, on Cedartown side. So Cartersville, from the near sideline, will send it back in. Good defensive stand there by the Bulldogs. Looks like Alex Segura there to disrupt it. Now they'll send it up near sideline. They'll come across midfield. It'll be Pineda with it, trying to work around the Cartersville defenders. Takes it back towards the middle of the field, and now they'll reverse on the opposite side. Continue to work the sidelines. Brian, when you're talking about an attacking offense, is it typical to see them work from sideline to sideline? Do they try to avoid the middle of the field, or they just have to play against whatever the defense is going to throw at them?
Basically, it boils down to what the defense allows you to have. So in that scenario, as we see the corner come in, goal off, or no.
It was just off maybe the top crossbar there. And there is a goal there. The putback is good. So just as we were talking about that one, there was a shot on goal that I think came off the top crossbar there, came back into play, and Cedartown was there to capitalize. And as quickly as Cartersville gets on the board to take a 1-0 lead, Cedartown answers, and we're tied up at 1 apiece.
Absolutely brilliant play around box. Came off the corner kick, right off the crossbar. That second ball just blasted in. Great time for a tying goal. But to answer your question earlier, Sam, that is something that you will end up seeing. They'll try to go more direct for the most part, but as you hold possession and as you bring more defenders around you, it opens up the ability for the play to be switched, as we see here.
And so they're going to bring it near sideline, just like you said. The bodies were on the far side, so we switch course and bring it near side. Right around midfield. We'll reverse it and then send it back into play in our offensive side. Cedartown still trying to work around midfield. They tried to get it over to Tony Pinedo, but that one is going to be out of bounds. So Cartersville will have the throw in from the far sideline. They'll send it in. Cedartown is there to meet it immediately. Contact there at midfield as Cartersville will come away with it. And now there's going to be a breakaway. It's going to be 2-on-1, but Cedartown is there to clear it, and they'll just push it out of bounds and wait for help.
Well played there. When in doubt, kick it out. You want to play safe in your defensive third.
This gives you an opportunity to get numbers where you did not have them and put bodies on body. So Cartersville from the near sideline. Cedartown will now clear. Good kick there by the Bulldogs to push it over into the Cartersville defensive third. The keeper will come up and get it back into midfield. And now Cedartown recovers it. Pineda's going to try to push it up the near sideline. That one knocked away by Cartersville. So you hear with it again. Now pushes it forward. Working towards the middle. No shot there. Cartersville there to defend it, but a header by the Bulldogs. Keeps it back in play. Wanted another shot there, but off of the Cartersville defender, and that one's going to ricochet out of bounds. And it'll be kicked almost to west side by the Cartersville defender there. So Cedartown will have it from the corner.
And that's what we're going to see from Cedartown all night is just attack, attack, attack. As soon as they get the ball, they're always looking forward, looking for penetration, looking to get at the goal. And Cedartown is a tough team to deal with over the course of a match.
A long shot there from around the 20-25-yard line by Pineda goes to the right wide. And so Cartersville's keeper will send it in. 1-1 is your score. Coming up on 27 minutes left to play in this opening half. Cedartown High School soccer here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network. And the kick goes in, but a whistle immediately, and I guess they're going to send it back and do it over.
I'm not sure the referee was ready for that to be restarted. He was having a word with somebody about their equipment. Now he's ready.
Cartersville will send it in. Pineda with the header back for Cedartown. Now the Bulldogs back on the attack again. Near sideline, runs into a double team there, does Pineda. Now he'll have to wait for help. He'll send it back to number 18, Jose Torres. And now Cedartown will have to go back on the offensive. Trying to work it up near sideline. They'll give it a head, but Cartersville will send it back. Hurricanes trying to push it across midfield, and they do, but they're met there by the Cedartown defender who sends it into about the fifth row of the bleachers there of the home side.
Great help defense there by number 22, Sebastian Bermudez.
He hasn't let much by him tonight. Of course, Cedartown has been very aggressive on the attack, and Cartersville has not had a lot of opportunities. But they are working on their attacking third right now. Cedartown trying to clear, and they will. They'll push it ahead. Looks like it's number 12, Ramirez, working it up that far sideline. Moving quickly, trying to break it through the Cartersville defenders, and that one's going to be out of bounds.
Giving the goal kick on that one. And you're right, there's incredible speed up that flank. Covered about 30 yards in about 3 seconds. Very impressive.
The header by Cedartown to send it back the other way. Cartersville was trying to clear it, but the Bulldogs will keep it and go on the attack. That one again from Pineda. high and wide. And so it'll be another kick for the goalkeeper there for Cartersville.
That's maybe a shot that Coach King and Coach Rice wouldn't necessarily want. You hate to temper players from shooting, but Pineda was kind of going away from goal, but I guess maybe he got a deflection on that lead to a corner kick.
Does look like they're setting up for that. So they'll come on the near sideline for the corner kick. It looks like it'll be number 8 for the Dogs, Alex Segura. Corner kick on the way with 25 minutes left to play. The header by Pineda almost, but saved there by Cartersville. It wasn't even the goalkeeper there that was able to save it, just a defender that got a body on it. Cedartown will keep it in play. A kick from the left side, and that one is going to be off its mark in the wrong way.
Oh, unlucky on that final shot there. Ball came across, player maybe could have used his left, but didn't feel comfortable with it, sort of snatched at it with his right foot. Ball goes well wide of the goal, but again, Cedartown shows that they're dangerous on set plays in and around the box.
Cartersville tried to clear it. Cedartown got it, wanted another shot there, deflected. Now Cartersville will try to send it back, and that one's going to go careening out of bounds, and so that one will be a Cedartown throw-in from the far sideline.
Getting our first sub of the game here.
Cedartown sending in a sub. It comes with right at 24 minutes left to play in this first half. Cedartown sends it in from the far sideline. Bulldogs working in the box there. Now it's going to be out of bounds, and it will be Cedartown ball again. So the Dogs will send it in from the near sideline. Cartersville defender there tries to break it up. Cedartown trying to keep it on the attacking side of the field for the Dogs. Cartersville trying to clear it, but once again, there's number 22, Sebastian Bermudez again to disrupt that. Just like you said earlier, Brian, he has been all over the place tonight for the Dogs. Made some good moves.
No question, just a sophomore. He has a chance to really go on over these next couple of years and establish himself as one of the great defenders in Cedartown soccer history.
That's one of the biggest differences, I think, that you can say between the girls' team and the boys' team. Cedartown's girls' squad, a very young team, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, but this boys' squad, they are absolutely loaded with experience and a lot of seniors.
Oh, no question. 10 seniors on the team. They've played together since they were in the 6th grade. It's just the golden generation, if you will. They're the team that, when they became freshmen, they took Cedartown to the farthest. As we see the ball come in, oh, unlucky there. But this group was part of the team that took the Dogs all the way into the Elite 8 in the playoffs, losing on penalty kicks. Had a winning season every season here since they've got up into high school. It really is a golden generation that's played together for basically half their lives at this point.
Segura sends it in from the corner kick. It was deflected to the far side. Cedartown still trying to battle with it, but severely outnumbered right now, and that's one of those things that we talked about earlier. You just have to play against whatever the defense will give you, and there you're just trying to clear it and get some more guys in red jerseys than you do white jerseys, because at that moment he was completely surrounded by Cartersville defenders.
No question, and we see now the game is settled a little bit. It's not quite as frantic and in the middle of the park at this point. Now Cedartown's been able to gain territory, gain possession, starting to force their will onto the Cartersville Hurricanes just a bit.
Pineda trying to send it in from the far sideline. That one is captured there by the keeper, so he'll bring it out in the box. And the kick will head towards midfield as Cedartown defenders are there to reverse it. Cedartown working it up the far side in the numbers. Now Cartersville with a chance to try to apply a little pressure, but the Cedartown defenders standing strong as that one is sent down the far flank there, I believe is the term you used earlier. Quickly.
See 22 again,
Yep.
just asserting himself in the back.
Keeper has to come up and give that one away. But now we've got an open goal, shot on goal, and it is going to be far and wide left. But it was going to be a wide open chance there as the keeper came to the very edge of the box there to try to clear it, as Cedartown had a player on a breakaway and was going to have a chance at a goal. But once he cleared it, he had to then retreat and try to get into a good position for a stop, and Cedartown's kick just goes just wide left.
Absolutely. Very heads-up play there by Yahir Pineda, knowing the keeper's off his line. Bought a lottery ticket, took a shot at it, and here's another one.
That one defended there by Cartersville, so they'll bring it back up to the midfield. Once again, Cedartown's defenders there, though. Number, it looks like 16. Tito Segura there was the first one to it, and so Cedartown will now clear it and push it across midfield again. Pineda working through that Cartersville defender, keeping it into the attacking third for Cedartown, but then it's cleared by Cartersville. You have to tip your cap to this Cartersville defenders as well, as they have been able to clear a lot of attacks by the Dogs, as that one's pushed out of bounds for Cedartown. And so Cartersville will have a throw in from the near sideline, close to around the 5 or 10 yard line. Throw in will come from number 7 for the Hurricanes. Puts it into the corner there. A good stop there. Out of bounds, going to stay Cartersville's possession though.
That's Gabriel Atkins on the defense there. He wanted the throw coming the other way, claiming the ball went off of the Cartersville attacker. Gabriel committed to shorter for his next level of play.
Cartersville will send it in. Right in the middle of the box now. They'll try to clear it. Hurricanes still, though, in a good position. They'll move it to the far sideline. They'll try to come in from that far corner. They sent it into the middle of the field, but then the header went the other direction, and so Cartersville trying to retreat and turn around and give it, or get it back into a good scoring position. Now continuing to work up that far side. And then we've got a whistle and a stop.
Offside on the earlier ball in. Referee didn't see the assistant referee. His flag up. He's pulled it back now. It's as though the referee wants to have a bit of a chat with the assistant.
So that stoppage in play will come with 18-12. So if he is late seeing it, he can still make the call.
He can still come back and.
How long of a time window? I mean, is it a set time window or is it a judgment call?
It's at the referee's discretion. Looks like they were maybe working on their communication packs there.
So Cedartown will send it in right at midfield. Reversed by Cartersville. The Hurricanes trying to go back on the attack, but the Cedartown defenders there to stand strong. That was a doubleheader. That was forehead to forehead. And I don't think Yahir was anticipating it.
Correct. The second forehead wasn't intentional.
That's right. Dogs still trying to work it back into the Cartersville side of the field, and they do so. The Hurricanes retreating in defense, but then there's Pineda trying to disrupt it. But Cartersville is there to try to clear it.
Well, that was well won.
Good stop there by the Dogs. Cartersville defenders there, though, to make a play and send it back onto the Cedartown side of the field. And now they're going to try to go on the offensive and move the ball up the far sideline. But Cedartown there, once again, able to clear it. Hurricanes will send it now to the near side, but that one's going to be disrupted there by Ramirez. He tries to send it back up the middle. And it'll be Alex Segura. Now Ramirez working on the near side. Tries to work it back to the middle of the pitch there, but then Cartersville is there to break it up. Send it up the near side, but then Alex Segura there, able to send it right back where it came from. Now it'll be Pineda. Back to Segura. The defenders step in. And a good header there by Cedartown, but now we're going to have another whistle.
Referee wasn't sure which way to go with that one. He's kind of pointing both directions here.
So what was the call there?
They called the defender for Cedartown for undercutting the Cartersville players. He went up for the header.
Gotcha. And we've got another whistle.
Looks like the Cartersville forward just left a little bit in as the clearance went and made a little bit of contact on the follow through. Good spot by the referee there.
So the Dogs once again will be on the attack. Pineda on the near sideline trying to work around the Cartersville defender. Yep. And they'll get the jersey tug there, I'm assuming.
Yep, a little too much in the back there. Referee let some of that contact go, but just kind of persisted with it from the Cartersville defender. Referee gives some relief.
So Pineda will send it into play. Whoa. Near side, a header, almost. Good look there, good opportunity for the Dogs.
Man, that was a well-shaped ball from about midfield. Went all the way to the back post of Cartersville. Header came in, but just didn't quite get the purchase that he wanted on that header. Well wide in the end as Cedartown makes another substitute.
Coming up on 15 minutes left to play in this first half. Cedartown High School soccer here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, 106.1 FM, AM 1340, across all of our social media platforms, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, as well as the NFHS Network, tied at 1 apiece. Cedartown High School baseball also in action. It is also on the NFHS Network. Dogs and the Allatoona Buccaneers in a doubleheader just over the Cobb County line. Cartersville now trying to go on the offensive, and then we've got a whistle as a Cartersville player goes to the ground there. Looks like maybe a little help from the Cedartown defender.
Yeah, a bit of a love tap, It was honestly a good foul as the Cartersville player was about to break in on the flank. So well stopped.
Cedartown's defenders were clearing it, but then Cartersville able to get down and send it out of bounds.
And honestly, Sam, at this point, both teams are kind of having a little bit of trouble making their out ball stick. They're getting a little bit of relief from the back as they launch it long, but neither team is really able to hold it up in their attacking third for very long at this point. Give credit to both teams' back lines. As you mentioned earlier, there's some ballers on those back lines that are really competing. They're very athletic, very skilled, very physical. They don't mind mixing it up a little bit, and they're really reading the game well.
Cartersville will throw it in from the far sideline. Cedartown there, though, to quickly jump on top of it, try to work it back into the attacking third for the Dogs. They're working on that far sideline. Now they'll move it back to the middle, and they'll continue to try to work it up the middle. Cartersville there, though, to clog up that middle lane. The defender's trying to bring it near sideline. Number 22, once again, Bermudez, the defender there for the Dogs. He'll send it to the near side.
Oh, nice ball there.
Send it ahead to Tony Pinedo, who's going to work it up the near side. And it is a tightrope on that near sideline as it does go out of bounds off the foot of Cedartown. So it'll be Cartersville who will throw it in, but then it's quickly out of bounds again, and now it's Cedartown that'll get to throw it in. The officials not on the same page, but then quickly jump on the same page. So that was the reason there for the trio of whistles. And we've got, it looks like, another substitution coming in for Cedartown as that one's out of bounds again. And the Dogs will send it in again from the near sideline as number 11, Tony Pinedo, will go out for Cedartown, and we'll wait for the relief to come in.
Looks like we have Jason Ramirez coming in there. Got a goal on the season already.
Tito Segura will send it in from the near sideline. That one's quickly back out of bounds, but it will stay with Cedartown. So another chance for Segura as he sends it in. This time to Atkins. Now it'll quickly go to the near sideline again. Now they're going to boot it to the middle of the field, but then a header there by Cartersville will send it out of bounds, just trying to clear it from the box.
That's honestly a good idea. As crowded as the midfield's getting at this point, they're wanting to get Yahir on the ball as much as they can with those short little tiki-taka passes, but sometimes you just have to bypass the midfield when it's that crowded and get somebody in a 1v1 chance, make their defense make a play.
So the corner kick will come from the Bulldogs right in front of the goal. A chance at it, but that one's going to be over the goal.
Oh, nice little bent ball. Left-footed curling shot. Goes in towards the keeper. Could have been anybody's ball at that point.
There was as much congestion in front of that goal as there is on I-75 during rush hour. And the Dogs almost able to squeak one out there. Still tied up at 1 goal apiece. Cartersville sends it into play. Cedartown will have it around midfield. The Cartersville attacker, though, and he's going to be all by himself. It's going to be a chance at the goal, and it is wide right. Cedartown's defenders were rushing in to try to disrupt the Cartersville attacker. The goalkeeper was coming up as well, and that shot was just wide to the right.
That was a great job by the goalkeeper coming out, picked his moment, looked for that long touch, came out to try to cut down the angle and give the Cartersville attacker less options to shoot at, and he forced the error. That was well done by the goalkeeper coming off his line.
So Cedartown will send it back into play. Quickly, the header there by Cartersville to try to keep it on their side of the field. So far, the Hurricanes doing a good job of it. Cartersville back on the attack again, meeting the Cedartown defenders. Now the Dogs will try to clear it. Working up that far sideline. Looks like we're going to have a chance to get it back on our side of the field. And we do there with the Dogs. They're going to send it ahead. They're going to try to work up that right side. And it's all alone over there on the far sideline, but that one was just too far out in front of Jason Ramirez, number 7 for the Dogs. So Cartersville quickly sends it back into play. But the Dogs are right there to pounce on it again. Now the Hurricanes will try to work it through the Cedartown defenders. Working around midfield. They'll continue to push it up the right side. Now Cartersville will send it ahead. The Cedartown's defenders will meet them there, but it's a 2-on-1. Cedartown's defense holds strong. And that one is going to be out of bounds, and it looks like it's going to go the way of the Hurricanes.
Cartersville doing a great job of contesting every ball in every quadrant of this field. Cedartown's not used to having such a crowded midfield to have to deal with. It's an interesting problem for them to solve at this point.
Another shot there from Cartersville, this one coming from about 25 yards out, and it goes wide left. So Cedartown will send it back into play. Right between the A and the R in the Cedartown. Across the end zone there.
Oh.
Now Cedartown with a chance, the breakaway. 2-on-1, far side, waiting for some help, trying to work it back to the middle of the field. A shot on goal, and it's going to be just to the left.
Oh.
A chance there for the Dogs, but it goes wide left. And that was really set up by the play that happened around midfield with the really nice pass to work it through the Cartersville defense to get Cedartown one-on-one with a defender.
Really was, and that's one way to solve that congested midfield problem. You just go route one, bypass that midfield. Somebody else is 1v1 somewhere if there's 5 or 6 players in the middle of the park. So Cedartown did a great job finding that player on that.
Fight for the ball on the far sideline, out of bounds. It'll stay Cartersville ball. Cartersville possession. They'll send it back into play. Coming up on 7.5 minutes left to play in this first half. Cedartown defenders trying to reverse directions. Cartersville trying to go on the attack. They get it across the 50. Now they're going to continue to work it up. But an ill-advised shot there's the goalkeeper will come up and make the grab in the box for the Dogs, then sends it over to the right, or to the left side, I should say, as the Cedartown player goes down. Everybody, though, quickly back on their feet. The Dogs trying to continue to work it through the attackers of Cartersville. Goes around one guy. Now they send it deep into the field, but Cartersville there with the header to send it back, or at least for the moment pause the attack from the Dogs. Now Cedartown still working it up the far sideline. Cartersville has numbers, but Cedartown not letting that to deter them. The shot, and there's the goal. The shot on goal. The keeper came up, was able to block the first attempt, but couldn't get possession of it. Bounced off of him, and the Dogs are there for the goal, and they're on top. 2-1 is your score. Cedartown leads.
Brilliant play by Cedartown. Again, getting crowded in the midfield, bypassed it. Yahir Pineda the snap shot that the Cartersville goalkeeper couldn't handle. Number 14, Kevin Gonzalez, adds his 3rd goal of the season. Very well done by Cedartown to persevere through all the pressure that they were facing in the last 5 minutes. Well done, well scored, well followed up there by number 14, Kevin Gonzalez, whose brother was also a prolific scorer here at Cedartown.
So with that goal, Cedartown takes a 2-1 lead, and we are back underway. Cartersville working up the near sideline. Cedartown's defenders there to put a stop to the attack. Now they'll send it up to number 7, Ramirez, trying to work through a couple of defenders. He'll send it back to number 19, Christian Perez, who sends it up to the right side. Pineda with it, now working it back to the middle. Ramirez there.
Oh,
good move there by the Cartersville defender, but then Pineda is right there, though, to try to maintain possession for Cedartown. Cartersville defender will try to clear it. Cedartown's defender there to put a stop to it. Pineda will send it back to number 16, Tito Segura. Now we're working it back to midfield. Gabriel Atkins rushing up to try to make a play on it. Disrupts Cartersville. Holds them at bay. Now Cartersville back on the attack. The Hurricanes trying to answer. 2 players going at it right around the 25, and the Cartersville player goes to the floor, or to the grass, I should say. And it looks like Cartersville's going to have a kick from around the 25-yard line.
Good little 1v1 duel there. Number 22, Bermudez, again showing his physicality, his tenacity on the ball. As we see the captain, Atkins, lining everybody up. In fact, 2 of the 3 captains there in that wall.
Kick will come to the near sideline. They try to send it to the middle of the box, but Cedartown there to clear. Now it's in the corner. The header. Pineda with it. Trying to work it up the near sideline. Tries to back into the defender to create some space maybe. But then we've got a stoppage, a whistle, and it'll be Cedartown ball here on the near sideline. Pineda will send it into middle of the pitch and now to the far side. Under 5 minutes left to play in this opening half. Cedartown leads 2-1. A chance to add to it here, but the keeper will come up and make a good play there by Cartersville, as it was going to be a one-on-one matchup there, and Cedartown not able to capitalize.
Absolutely. Keeper's quick off of his line, as we see. Might be able to use that to score against him here, use it against him.
Well, I'm assuming there's a thing as being too quick off of that line.
There is.
Cedartown's defenders again trying to clear it. They do. They're going to go ahead. It's going to be number 7, Ramirez. The breakaway from the right side. And then the out-of-bounds kick there by Cartersville to force it out and potentially save a shot on goal there for the Dogs. But Cedartown will keep it in the corner. And the corner kick quickly coming. They send it back into play. It's Pineda. Pineda working from the near side. Trying to work around the Cartersville defenders. Tries to get a shot there, and it's just to the right. Ending off the side of the goal.
Maybe the wrong decision there from Pineda. Again, you don't really want to tell a player not to shoot, but he had 3 people in the box, several of them unmarked. Maybe a better opportunity to play it across, especially from that angle, but who am I to question Yahir Pineda?
Cartersville will send it back into play. Cedartown trying to continue to be on the offensive, as Cartersville's been on the defensive, I feel like, for the vast majority of this first half of play. Cedartown really able to keep it on the Cartersville side of the field and to force the issue. Hurricanes trying to push it up the far sideline, but Cedartown there to disrupt it around midfield. Segura sending it over to the right side. Yeah.
Nice little Trivela there. If you remember that from last season, the 3-toed outside of the foot pass.
Cedartown quickly sending it back into play.
Nice stick.
Pineda with it. Right side, could be a shot on goal, and we just push it to the right. I think if he'd have been set up in a position to take the shot there immediately when the ball got to him, but he almost had to stutter step with it just slightly, and that throws him off, and the shot is wide right.
Absolutely. That ball would have been nice if it was struck first time. Great job by Pineda making that ball stick, playing a blind little reverse angled ball in. Unable to hit it first time, like you said, had to take that extra touch, put him just a little bit wide of the goal, created a tougher angle. Be looking to have that one back.
Cartersville sends it back in. Cedartown defenders again trying to work it up near sideline. That'll be out of bounds.
Another smart, safe play there. Tito Segura, captain of the team, 2-year captain now.
Cedartown's defenders working against the Cartersville attack. Send it back up across midfield. Pineda with it again, working right at the 50-yard line. Now he's going to try to come right side. The Cartersville defender there was there to break it up. Good stand there by number 12 for the Dogs, Ramirez. Cartersville was trying to go on the attack there, but Ramirez stuck right to him. Keeper for Cartersville will send it back into play. Under a minute left to play here in this first half. Cedartown, of course, wanting to take the lead into the locker room. Good defensive stand there again by the Dogs. Cedartown trying to push it into the attacking third. Working off the near sideline is Segura, trying to send it back to the middle of the field. Pineda trying to work it back to Segura on this near side. Atkins with it, middle of the field there. Now on the far side. It almost looks like that Cedartown also understands that the clock is running out and trying to step up the pressure just a little bit in this final 30 seconds.
Here's your chance.
Keeper comes up, makes the snag, and that's probably going to do it for the first half of play. And that will do it. So the Cedartown Bulldogs with a 2-1 halftime lead over the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes here at Cedartown Memorial Stadium, Doc Ayers Field. The Dogs trying to remain perfect on the season, trying to remain perfect in region play. The Cartersville Purple Hurricanes, well, they're just trying to stay alive as they are looking to avoid their fourth loss in region play. 2-1. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, talk a little bit about that first half, also preview the second half, and maybe even take a look at the rest of the season for this Cedartown squad. It's 2-1 here at the Dock. We'll be back after this break here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big Double A.
The following is a
Bradford's Drug Store in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacists take time to get to know you and answer any questions you may have. Go by and see Justin Strickland and all the folks at Bradford's, and be sure to use their convenient drive-thru. 500 North Main Street in Cedartown, 770-748-3100. Bradford's Drug, your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy.
Have you been to Croker's Hardware and Supply lately? Croker's is the place to find everything you need, from boots to fencing, from plumbing supplies to wood and gas stove fittings, everything, even paint and flooring. Whether you're building or repairing, everything you need is right here at Croker's Hardware on East Avenue. Name brands galore right here in your back door. Orca and Yeti coolers and tumblers, case knives, native eyewear, buck stove grills, and more. At Croker's, you can find everything.
Go by and see the friendly staff there at 1192 Rockmart Highway. That's Croker's Hardware in Cedartown.
Shop local and save big at Penny Pinchers. Cost plus 10% on South College Street in Cedartown. High-quality hand-cut meats and produce and low-priced national brand name dry groceries and lots more. And while you're there, stop and get something fresh and delicious from the deli. That's Penny Pinchers. Cost plus 10%, 430 South College Street in Cedartown, across from the post office. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sundays. That's Penny Pinchers. Cost plus 10% on South College Street in Cedartown.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown, or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Rocky and Patty Tillery, two Cedartown High School graduates, and they stayed right here in the county and went into business. They employ right at 100 people, and they've been doing that for a long time. Most of their work is from out of the county, but they want to push our youngsters here, no matter what they're doing, Little League, Pony League, high school baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, and that's Polk County Public Service. They appreciate serving you.
Looking for great deals? Stop by Livewire Surplus, located on North Main Street in Cedartown. They've got everything from tools and generators to patio furniture, lawn mowers, flooring, cleaning supplies, mini splits, and much more. Whether you're tackling a project or upgrading your space, they've got what you need. Come check them out at the store today. You'll never know what you might find. Check them out on Facebook or visit their new website, livewiresurplus.com. That's Livewire Surplus, 546 North Main Street in Cedartown, 678-861-5021.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big Double A.
2-1 is your score here at the half. Sam Branch alongside Brian Rohr, as well as Andrew Carter on camera for us here in Game 2 tonight. Cedartown Bulldogs leading the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. Of course, we said right before the break, Cedartown riding a 6-game win streak. They are 6-0 on the season. They are 2-0 in region play, sitting in that 4th spot in the region. Cartersville, they have had a tough test so far in this first 5 games of the season. They are 1-4 on the season with a 4-game losing streak. They are 0-3 in region play. And Brian, you mentioned it. This is a do or die for Cartersville. This is a region game that they absolutely have to have a win in. And so far, Cedartown has kept them at bay with really good offensive attacks as well as some nice defensive stands. What have you seen in the first half that you really like out of this Cedartown squad?
Out of the Cedartown squad, we saw a lot of perseverance. It took them a while to sort of gain the right to play, if you will. Took a minute for Yahir Pineda to kind of get going and get that ball to stick to his foot. But probably the last, I'd say 10, 15 minutes of that half, Cedartown had the run of play greatly. Yahir was able to pull the strings in the midfield, able to play a lot of 1-2 passes, be dynamic and bypass the midfield at times to get his attackers in 1v1 scenario. So really not exactly how Coach King, Coach Rice would have drawn it up to begin with, but the way the half ended, it was really tilted towards Cedartown's favor.
And so what are some things that you would like to see out of this squad as they come out of halftime in the locker room and really push into this second half to try to preserve this 2-1 score and possibly add a couple of insurance goals?
From an attacking standpoint, I would say play just a little bit faster. There's times where they're sort of putting their foot on the ball, standing on it for just a second, maybe taking just an extra touch at times. So maybe speeding the play up just a little bit, drawing them in a little bit more to where you can open up those switches and get those 1v1 opportunities out in space or up in that attacking third. Defensively, they need to help out just a little bit more in the middle of the park. Like we saw earlier, Cartersville was getting numbers in there. They're playing basically a 3-5-2, so they're sort of outnumbering the Cedartown midfield 5-4 at times. So I'd like to see just a little bit of help with maybe some of the outside backs pinching in a little bit. Yahir dropping a little bit deeper as we saw him get to in the end of that first half, to where he can sort of apply that back pressure, get at least even numbers in the midfield, and turn them over as quickly as you can and just get right back at them.
Well, we talked about it a little bit. Dalton, that number 1 team in the state, also number 1 in the region. They are 3-0 on the season. You have Cass and Allatoona also at 3-0 in the region so far. Cedartown 2-0 in that fourth spot. Southeast Whitfield 0-2, Woodland 0-3, Hiram 0-3, and then this Cartersville Purple Hurricanes team, they are 0-3 as well. And so you are looking at a Cedartown team that I think is about where you expect them to be as far as the region standings, especially at this point in the season. Now, of course, they will have some very tough matchups coming up. Cedartown still has to face off against Dalton. They still have to face off against that Allatoona team. They still have to play against Southeast Whitfield team that may or may not. You never know, I think, with that Southeast team. But you know you're going to have two very tough opponents coming up in both the Buccaneers as well as the Catamounts.
Oh, no question. It's a murderer's row for Cedartown. They're going to be on the road for all three of those games. You're looking at the 18th at Cass, 21st at number 1 ranked Dalton, 25th at Altoona. So they'll basically be defining their season over the next week and a half after this game.
We've got about 2 minutes until we're going to kick off the second half. Cedartown High School soccer here on the Big AA. We appreciate you joining us. Stick around. We've got some more soccer headed your way. We'll be back after this short break here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big AA.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown. Or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Have you been to Croker's Hardware and Supply lately? Croker's is the place to find everything you need, from boots to fencing, from plumbing supplies to wood and gas stove fittings, everything, even paint and flooring. Whether you're building or repairing, everything you need is right here at Croker's Hardware on East Avenue. Name brands galore right here in your back door. Orca and Yeti coolers and tumblers, case knives, native eyewear, buck stove grills, and more. At Croker's, you can find everything.
Go by and see the friendly staff there at 1192 Rockmart Highway. That's Croker's Hardware in Cedartown.
Bradford's Drug Store in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacists take time to get to know you and answer any questions you may have. Go by and see Justin Strickland and all the folks at Bradford's, and be sure to use their convenient drive-thru. 500 North Main Street in Cedartown, 770-748-3100. Bradford's Drug, your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Looking for great deals? Stop by Livewire Surplus, located on North Main Street in Cedartown. They've got everything from tools and generators to patio furniture, lawnmowers, flooring, cleaning supplies, mini splits, and much more. Whether you're tackling a project or upgrading your space, they've got what you need. Come check them out at the store today. You'll never know what you might find. Check them out on Facebook or visit their new website, livewiresurplus.com. That's Livewire Surplus, 546 North Main Street in Cedartown, 678-861-5021.
Have you been to Croker's Hardware and Supply lately? Croker's is the place to find everything you need, from boots to fencing, from plumbing supplies to wood and gas stove fittings, everything, even paint and flooring. Whether you're building or repairing, everything you need is right here at Croker's Hardware on East Avenue. Name brands galore right here in your back door. Orca and Yeti coolers and tumblers, case knives, native eyewear, buck stove grills, and more. At Croker's, you can find everything.
Go by and see the friendly staff there at 1192 Rockmart Highway. That's Croker's Hardware in Cedartown.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
And we are ready to go with second half action here from Cedartown Memorial Stadium, Doc Ayers Field. Friday Night Lights of the soccer variety. 2-1 is your score. Cedartown on top of the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes, as we have swapped ends of the field. And so for those of you listening on radio, Cedartown will now be working from right to left. We were working left to right to begin with. Now we've switched things up and we're ready to go back. Cedartown, the 2 goals, one coming from number 8, Alex Segura, and the other coming from, you had the number right?
Number 14, Kevin Gonzalez.
There we go. So we are underway. Cedartown with it to start, sends it into the attacking third quickly for the Dogs. It's number 18 with it. Torres trying to work through the Cartersville defenders. They'll put up a good stop. It's number 5 there, though, Gio Hernandez, to put a stop to that advance for Cedartown. Now a chance to the corner. We send it to the middle of the field there, but then it's knocked away by Cartersville. That one will be out of bounds, and Cartersville will throw it in from the far sideline. This will be a little easier on us, I believe, Brian, as Cedartown now will be attacking right in front of us. And so as we were looking on the other end of the pitch there in the first half, we'll have a little better view here in half number 2.
Big shout out to Andrew Carter for making the lighting perfect in here for us to see. It's a pro move right there.
Not only that, but also, of course, jumping in to run camera here in game 2. He's a jack of all trades. Oh. That one is cleared by Cartersville, but a chance there for the Dogs as that one will go out of bounds, and Cedartown will get it again from the near sideline.
It's just kind of a lofted ball to the back post there. Cedartown won the header, went goalwards, had to call in the emergency defense there to clear that off the line.
Hernandez sends it high into the night sky. Midfield, right in front of the goal there. The keeper comes up and makes the grab in the box, and so he'll send everybody headed the other direction. Boots it down the far sideline, but then that header by Cedartown will send it back onto the Cedartown side of the field. The Dogs again trying to work in the middle part of that field. It's number 11 Pinedo with it, and then we've got a whistle, and it'll be headed the other way.
A little disappointed with the call. Yeah, he is there, but probably a fair decision.
So Cartersville will send it back into play from around their own 29-yard line if you want to use the football yardage as reference. For somebody that's much more familiar with calling football than I am soccer, I'm going to use every trick and tip I can. Cedartown trying to send it back across midfield. Carter's out there, though, to counter. Gabriel Atkins will get the header over to Gio Hernandez. Cedartown working up near sideline. Still trying to be on the offensive. Yahir there tied it up with a Cartersville defender. Wanted, I think, a whistle, but did not get one.
Most certainly should have had one there.
Gabriel Atkins, though, there to send it back to Pineda. He tried to move it up to the middle of the floor, to the middle of the field. As you can tell, I'm still in basketball mode with court and floor instead of field and pitch here.
That's right. We can call it the floor. It's interchangeable.
There we go. So that one is out of play, and that will be Cedartown with the throw in from the sideline. That one hurt.
That hurt up here.
Yep, and that one's going to be a whistle and a stoppage in play. And that's going to come with, let's see, 36-42, and that one off the head there of the Cartersville defender. So the training staff is going to come out, and we're actually going to step away. We'll take a quick break as they check on the injured Cartersville player. We'll be back after this short break here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big AA.
Have you been to Croker's Hardware and Supply lately? Croker's is the place to find everything you need, from boots to fencing, from plumbing supplies to wood and gas stove fittings, everything, even paint and flooring. Whether you're building or repairing, everything you need is right here at Croker's Hardware on East Avenue. Name brands galore right here in your back door. Orca and Yeti coolers and tumblers, case knives, native eyewear, buck stove grills, and more. At Croker's, you can find everything.
Go by and see the friendly staff there at 1192 Rockmart Highway. That's Croker's Hardware in Cedartown.
Bradford's Drug Store in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated good neighbor pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacists take time to get to know you and answer any questions you may have. Go by and see Justin Strickland and all the folks at Bradford's, and be sure to use their convenient drive-thru. 500 North Main Street in Cedartown, 770-748-3100. Bradford's Drug, your locally owned and operated good neighbor pharmacy.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown, or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
Injured Cartersville player helped off.
Good sportsmanship there. Ball returned to Cedartown from Cartersville since Cedartown had possession. Always an applause for that sportsmanship.
So Cedartown on the defensive now. Trying to clear it out from in front of the goal. Cartersville trying to work it to the right side. And that one's going to be out of bounds, and it'll stay Cartersville. So the Hurricanes will have a chance here from the near sideline. They'll send it in midfield. Right between the hash marks. Shot on goal, but that one is going to be high from the Hurricanes.
Oh, that was a great shot. See number 7 there, just kind of snatched at it. He had the goal earlier, received the ball with his back towards goal, spun out on his left foot, had a smack at it, but just kind of tailed away there at the end. Bit of a danger warning there for Cedartown.
Cedartown with a 2-1 lead, trying to add to it here. Cedartown now trying to go on the offensive. Pineda with a breakaway, but he's going to have to get through some defenders as he goes to the turf. And no call. So Cartersville will send it in from the corner there. But Hernandez there to put a stop to it and send it right back into the Cedartown offensive. Into the attacking third for the Dogs. It's number 11, Pinedo, trying to work it to the middle of the field. They'll send it into Yahir. And now there is a whistle as Pineda goes to the turf. And we've got a stoppage in play.
That should be a penalty. That's a foul inside the box. And it is a penalty.
So the official speaking there with the Cartersville player, and they'll line it up for a penalty kick coming from the Cedartown Bulldogs. So a golden opportunity for the Dogs to capitalize here on a penalty kick from Yahir Pineda, the magician of the Dogs. Everybody else out of the box.
That's interesting. Yahir lines up like he's taking it left-footed, slides over to the right. Keeper makes the save with the follow. Yahir on it. Well done by Pineda. Tried to fool the goalkeeper on the first time, showing him that he was a left-footed shooter. Second one, there's no fooling. You just put your laces through that ball, smack in the back of the net, and figure out what you did wrong on that penalty when practice comes.
So 3-1 now your score off the penalty kick there by Yahir Pineda. It comes with 35:01 left in this second half. Cedartown with a little bit of an insurance goal there, up by 2 now.
Of course, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the saying, Sam, but they say a 2-goal lead in soccer is the most dangerous lead there is. I'd happen to disagree with that statement vehemently. There is a train of thought.
Right. Is it dangerous because it's just enough of a lead to kind of almost get you comfortable?
Basically, that's exactly it. You feel 2 goals, you're kind of in the driver's seat, but
take a little bit of a breath.
1 goal changes momentum.
Absolutely,
like that.
It does.
Goals change games.
Of course, we also, though, a little bit that I do know, I know that goals in soccer come at a premium.
No question, especially in area play.
So Cartersville with it, trying to cut back into the lead. But Cedartown quickly goes right back on the offensive. And again, it's Yahir Pineda with it, working up the near sideline. Tried to feed it ahead there to number 6, it looks like, for Cedartown. Or no, excuse me, number 8, or number 5, there we go. Gio Hernandez. Hernandez, though, will take it from Pineda off the inbound throw. And now they're going to work it up the far sideline. Cedartown, again, striking distance. Pineda from the back of the box. Shot deflected by Cartersville. Cartersville will clear it out of the box now and try to work it up midfield. But there's Gabriel Atkins as well as Gio Hernandez to put a stop to it and keep it right back where the Dogs want it.
Those two are so good defensively. Atkins is just able to bust up any type of counterattack that happens. Normally is able to get to the ball to Pinedo right after snuffing out that attack. Had great help from the left back over here. Fabulous team defense.
Whistle, and looks like we've got a sub coming in for Cartersville.
Looks like coach for Cartersville is bringing several players in. Didn't like what he saw here in the first couple of minutes of the half, trying to light a fire.
So Cartersville will send it in off the far sideline. Cedartown's defenders there, though, doing what they have done all night, clearing it and sending it back on the other side, but I believe they're going to say that one did go out of bounds or out of play. What's the correct term there? Out of bounds, out of play?
You would say into touch.
Into touch,
Yes.
okay.
Meaning they can then touch the ball, pick it up for the throw.
I got you. So then we have a Cartersville player that quickly goes down. Down around the 17-yard line or so.
One thing you always worry about as a coach is when your team is awarded a penalty, you always kind of worry about it being made up at the other end. So
Understandable.
Cedartown kind of want to be on their toes for that.
I can make that connection with fouls in basketball. You know, sometimes you miss a foul or you call a foul that probably shouldn't have been, and the officials realize that and they try to make it up on the other end. Ooh. That shot on goal, and it gets away, and that is in. So just like that, Cartersville is able to add one. And it's back to a one-goal lead. And just like you said, Brian, a two-goal lead is a dangerous lead. The most dangerous lead, well, now it's just back to a one-goal lead. Cedartown on top 3-2.
An incredible free kick there. He drove it hard, drove it low, had some swerve on it, bounced right in front of the keeper. Keeper was handcuffed as he tried to go down and short hop it. It just sort of popped up. Wasn't able to get the rebound, and here we are. We're back in the game.
So Cartersville, again, trying to go on the offensive. We tried to clear it there on the first try. We won't get it the first time, but we do clear it with the second player that stepped up, and once again, it was Sebastian Bermudez who has done that all night long for the Dogs.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch over the next couple of years. Only a sophomore. Younger brother of Edgar, who's kicker for the football team.
Absolutely.
He's really, really showing his value to this team out here.
Cartersville will send it in from the near sideline. Now with a little bit of a breakaway. But Cedartown's number 5, Gio Hernandez, there to send it out of bounds. Or into touch, is that right?
Into touch.
Into touch.
Very well played there, Sam.
The defender for the Dogs. According to Coach King, Hernandez, always one of the names of the starters for this Cedartown squad.
In fact, Coach King had mentioned that one of his biggest regrets was not choosing him as a freshman and a sophomore to the team.
Cartersville again trying to go on the offensive, trying to go on the attack. But Yahir is there to try to send it back. But it's going to be another chance for Cedartown's Hernandez as he goes one-on-one with a Cartersville attacker, and that one is going to be sent the way of the Dogs. It'll come from the corner on the near side.
Well defensed by Gio. 1v1, back to goal, in the corner.
Well, I guess if you know that you're one-on-one and you're just by yourself down there, do you intentionally try to push it even further into that corner?
It depends on sort of your body position at the time. For the most part, you just want to be safe and not do anything dumb. You don't want to give it up for a dribble in at the worst. When in doubt, put it out, but he was smart and skilled enough there to sort of win a little bit of a half yard of a space and knock it off of the attacker.
So Cartersville's player that went to the turf is now back up, and he's going to have a free kick coming from around the 21-yard line, sends it in the direction of the goal, and that is high and out of play.
Another good hit there by number 8. Several good left-footed shooters for this Cartersville team in the midfield.
Under 30 minutes left to play. Cedartown with a 1-goal lead, 3-2 over the visiting Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. Cedartown trying to clear it. Cartersville has had several more opportunities here in this second half of play than they did in the first half of play. Cedartown will send it back in. Atkins is there trying to get it in the middle of the field. They keep it there, but then Cartersville is there to take it away. But then a good Atkins was there. I thought I was about to say that was going to be a good breakup there to keep it on the Cedartown side, but the whistle. And the Cartersville player still on the turf, and it'll be a free kick for Cartersville. And we'll have a stoppage in play with the injured player. It comes with right at 28:53 left.
Yeah, at first glance, it really looked like Atkins got all of the ball there, but I think maybe the referee didn't like the angle of the challenge coming from just a bit from the back.
So the injured player will go over and meet up with Cedartown's trainer, Ben Truitt. Does a fantastic job for the Bulldogs, part of that Atrium training staff. Of course, he's with all Cedartown High School sports and games. We see Ben on the sideline just about everywhere we go.
It's a great partnership, too.
Absolutely. So Cartersville off with a free kick. Cedartown with the header, and that one's going to go into touch back behind the goal, and Cedartown will
see the corner there, unfortunately.
Yep. And so Cartersville will set up for the corner kick.
Sound like a pro using that term though now, Sam. It just rolls off the tongue.
Well, you know, I'm doing my best here. I don't want to embarrass you too much by being on the air with someone that knows absolutely nothing about this. So,
a
lot of congestion there, a lot of traffic, and it is in.
Oh man, unfortunate for Cedartown there. The ball almost went into the goal directly from a corner kick, something they call a goal Olimpico, but unfortunately, Cedartown unable to clear the second ball there. And I hate that we spoke it into existence, that 2-goal lead being the most dangerous lead in soccer, but you see how quickly it can change. That momentum, goals changes games. Cedartown just sort of losing their way the last 5 minutes, not really stringing passes together, sort of a few aimless long balls. They're going to want to get control of this ball and get back to playing the Cedartown way here as quickly as possible.
So all tied up at 3 goals each with 28 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. And we are back underway. We'll see how aggressive Cedartown is to go back on the offensive to try to regain the lead. Pineda working off the far side. But the Cartersville defenders are there to hold strong. Cartersville trying to drive it up the far sideline. It's into touch on the far sideline, and that will stay with Cartersville. For those of you watching, you will notice, especially on this shot right now where we're panned out, there is one lone fan sitting on the visitor side in the bleachers. Everybody else over here on the home side, enjoying a little Friday night soccer here from the dock. Cedartown Bulldog baseball fell in game 1 to Allatoona by a final score of 8-4. When I checked it at the half, we had not started game 2 of the doubleheader yet. And we've got another whistle there. And the flag pointing in direction of Cartersville. We had a visitor during halftime as well. The great Matt Foster joined us. We got a little commentary from him. The biggest thing he had to talk about was the wind down there. And, of course, we know that it is indicative of the storms that are on the way. Of course, everyone needs to be weather aware tomorrow and into tomorrow night. We'll talk about that a little bit in the morning. Andrew Carter and I will be on the birthday club. I'm sure we'll get into the weather forecast a little bit, but it's going to be dangerous again, and of course it's going to come all at the wrong time as that strong line of thunderstorms with potential for damaging winds, hail, even some tornadoes will be moving into the area in the overnight hours. So you will want to stay weather aware, make sure that you have all of your devices charged. And if need be, you need to have a safe plan to get to a safe place in your house. Looks like do we have a keeper exchange?
We
A
do.
substitution coming in for Cedartown.
We do.
Cedartown trying to go on the offensive here. Throw in from the far sideline. That was going to be in touch again, or into touch again on the far side there. And as we talked about, and we've said it a few times, this Cartersville team, they are desperate for a win. Not only have they lost 4 in a row, but they're 0-3 in region play, and that 4th loss could be detrimental to their chances of coming back and being any part of a postseason appearance.
Absolutely. And they've certainly come out and competed well tonight from the opening whistle on. There was a period there where they sort of slowed down, looked like they were maybe feeling a little bit sorry for themselves when they went down 2 goals, but they've quickly gotten themselves back into it and are competing very hard. They're competing like you would expect somebody to do when you need a win to stay in postseason contention.
That one's sent back into the attacking third for Cedartown, but unfortunately we don't have the numbers. But you hear Pineda, and he's your magic weapon, working 3-on-1 over on the far side, and Cartersville is able to poke it away, and then they'll try to push it up the far side. But Cedartown trying to keep it into the attacking mode, as we are in need of another goal, as we are all tied up at 3 goals apiece. Cedartown at one point led 3-1. Cartersville back-to-back goals to tie it up. Now working off the near sideline. It'll be Cedartown trying to work it through the defenders. We got it through the legs of one, but then they quickly are able to recover and send it back across midfield. This Cartersville team, like you said, Brian, playing with a little bit of a renewed vigor.
They really are, and they're really starting to get numbers in and around the ball again like they did in the early part of the first half where they had some success.
Goalkeeper will come up and take control there, send it back into play. No chance there at a shot on goal for the Dogs.
Nice tackle.
Segura trying to work it up the near sideline. Gives it up to Torres. Torres and Segura working it back and forth to each other. Trying to work it through the Cartersville defenders. But the Hurricanes will clear it. Cedartown's defense, though, quickly running back over. And Gio Hernandez was basically there just to do a body block and keep the Cartersville player from trying to keep it back in play as it was off the Hurricanes. Now a chance for the Dogs. Pineda, that one's poked away by Cartersville. Otherwise, Gahir was going to have a chance maybe to drive and take a shot on goal.
You can tell he's disappointed that ball got away from him. He could smell the goal from where he was at.
He was in a good position to do that, working towards the kind of far side of midfield. Cartersville continuing to poke it away into touch, and Cedartown trying to keep the pressure on. This last minute or so, it feels like Cedartown maybe has swung the momentum their way just slightly, and they're trying to maintain it and build on it.
They certainly have gained the territory back, gotten a little bit more possession than they had. Starting to get more players around the ball. There we see is about 4 or 5 versus 3 in favor of Cedartown on that side.
You saw it just right there, 2-on-1, but then a shot on goal.
Well held by the Cartersville keeper there.
Very well held. So Cartersville will put it back into play. And we've got a whistle. And Cedartown will send it in from the near sideline. Goes into number 5, Gio Hernandez. And then Cartersville quickly able to send it back the other direction. Cedartown's keeper will come up and make a play on that. I believe the new keeper may be our backup. I know that one of our keepers was sick and unable to go in Hiram, so we actually had a different backup play, and now we've got a stoppage in play as we've got another injured Hurricane who's down on the field around the 11-yard line. Let's take a very quick timeout, and we'll come back with more Cedartown High School soccer here on the Big Double A.
Have you been to Croker's Hardware and Supply lately? Croker's is the place to find everything you need, from boots to fencing, from plumbing supplies to wood and gas stove fittings, everything, even paint and flooring. Whether you're building or repairing, everything you need is right here at Croker's Hardware on East Avenue. Name brands galore right here in your back door. Orca and Yeti coolers and tumblers, case knives, native eyewear, buck stove grills, and more. At Croker's, you can find everything.
Go by and see the friendly staff there at 1192 Rockmart Highway. That's Croker's Hardware in Cedartown.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
Very quick injury timeout, and we're back underway as Cedartown still trying to keep the pressure on. 3-3 is your score, all tied up with the Hurricanes, and that one is not going to have any impact on a potential chance at a goal, as it was a very slow roller that made it through a couple of defenders. The goalkeeper easily able to handle that one. Hernandez with it, trying to push it up.
Oh, nice layoff.
A little 2-on-1 action with the Cedartown player and the Cartersville defenders.
Oh, great split ball.
We've got an open man near side, shot on goal, and that went, oh, it's in!
My goodness.
What a goal for the Cedartown Bulldogs!
Oh, incredible flighted ball, just played to that back post, lofted in the area, keeper's unable to get a hold of it. I believe that was Yahir Pineda on the back there, might have been Tony actually.
It was either 10 or 11,
it was
okay.
Yahir.
So a beautiful masterpiece of a goal there for the Cedartown Bulldogs, and they go back on top with 20 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in this area contest between the Dogs and the Canes.
Boy, and it just changes that fast, doesn't it, Sam?
It does.
Turn around and ball's coming at the net. Not sure if the keeper maybe lost it in the lights or it was just maybe in an awkward spot where he couldn't reach it, but nonetheless, got it past him. Converted by Pineda.
Now you have to continue to apply the pressure, as we've already seen how quickly this Cartersville squad can strike. The Dogs not wanting to give up anything here with a 4-3 lead. So Cartersville working on the near side. Cedartown just puts it right back into touch by number 19, Christian Perez.
We see Coach King's son working hard down here as a ball boy, wrestling up everything that goes into touch.
But I bet he's going to sleep good tonight.
That kid is running nonstop. That's going to be the next big superstar of Cedartown in about 8 years.
Cartersville sent it back in to play, and the header there by Cedartown again sends it into touch, and so Cartersville will once again throw it in from the near side. Now we're ready to go after the whistle from the official there. And Cedartown just sending all kind of bodies around the ball there. Goes into touch again, so Cartersville will get another chance at it. But the Cedartown defenders really jumped on it very quickly.
They really did. And that's where they've been able to get numbers consistently around the ball all night.
That goes in, and a chance there for Cartersville, but good defense there by Cedartown. The Dogs will try to clear it.
Oh.
Now Pineda's just going to go around the defender and try to push it up the pitch, but that one's going to be taken back by Cartersville. Still a good chance, though, for the Dogs. Two Cedartown defenders took it away from the Cartersville player, and now we're going to continue to try to work it up. Pineda goes to the turf, got tied up with the Cartersville player, so it's back at midfield. The Dogs still trying to push it. This will be Pinedo. Now he's going to work towards the midfield. Goes around a defender. Now it's 3-on-1. Pinedo's still working. He's going to be about the 5-yard line, and that one's just poked away there by the defender, but Cedartown still with a chance at it. Tony Pinedo was trying to push through all kind of Cartersville defenders.
My goodness, that kid is crafty. Just in and out. Everybody's slaloming through like he's a downhill skier.
I think finesse is a good word to use as what Pinedo was able to do as he was trying to work through those defenders.
No question.
Just very slight moves to try to keep them off balance. Cartersville with a chance now, but that one's hopefully going to be saved by the keeper. He comes up, makes a play. Loose ball, though. Cartersville still with a chance. Another loose ball. Cedartown will clear it from out of the back of the box. Cartersville had 2 or 3 opportunities there in the box for the Hurricanes, but the Cedartown defenders, along with the keeper, spoil the chance. They keep it a 1-goal lead for the Dogs, 4-3 and a whistle.
Wow, that was just an incredible job by the Cedartown goalkeeper. Coming in cold off the bench, middle of the second half, has to face about 4 Cartersville players down. Maybe could have had a foul there called against Cartersville jumping into the keeper, but referee didn't see anything wrong with the 50-50. Incredible job by the keeper keeping his composure in that situation.
We do have a whistle there. And that one's going to go the direction of the Hurricanes.
Well, this really is a well-contested game out here, Sam. Back and forth. Everybody playing like postseason's on the line, which it is.
So Cartersville will take it from about their own 45. Send it near sideline. Now back to the middle of the field. Cedartown's defenders are going to try to clear. Cedartown with a chance here. They're going to push it up midfield. They try to go to Pineda, but then that one is disrupted there by the Cartersville player. The Hurricanes trying to regain possession and control, and they will right at midfield. They'll go ahead. It's going to be a one-on-one, and there's going to be a flag from the near sideline, and is that going to be offside?
Definitely offside. He just got a bit ahead of the play. Well done by the Cedartown defense to play him offside in that scenario. Incredible job.
So what could have been a chance for the Hurricanes is spoiled by the offsides, and Cedartown with the kick from the 25-yard line. They send it down to the Cartersville end of the pitch, and now the Hurricanes will try to reverse course and send it back the other way. Gabriel Atkins there, though. He's there to break it up. Cedartown with a slide there, tackle on the Cartersville player, and we'll have a stoppage in play as it looks like the Cartersville defender is injured. Hitler just very slow to get up.
I'm not sure about that call, honestly. Looked like he got all ball to me. Ball went the way of the tackle, which indicates that he got contact on it. I think, again, the referee just doesn't like that angle of engagement, if you will, coming from sort of back from behind the attacking player in that scenario. But that's a clean play to me. I would have to see that on replay.
Well, you'll have a chance to, as of course our live stream there on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, as well as the NFHS Network. So anytime we have our live streams on our social media platforms, if you want to go back and rewatch those, well, they're archived there for you. We encourage you to go back and do that. WGA Radio, of course, on Facebook. If you want to go to our YouTube channel, it's the same thing there. And then, of course, NFHS, you just have to search by the school and the sport. Now, there is a change coming to Facebook in their live streams. They will only continue to show those for a certain period of time now. They're not indefinite like they were before. But thankfully, YouTube lives forever. Or at least for now it does. Coming up on 15 minutes left to play as Cartersville sends it in from the near sideline, putting it right in the midfield there, and then we've got a whistle.
Ball just bopped up and hit the Cartersville player in the hand. Referee gives relief to Cedartown coming out.
So Cedartown quickly again trying to move it to the Cartersville side of the pitch. Cartersville trying to send it back right at midfield. Cartersville tried to clear it, but Cedartown's defender number 20 came up and pushed it back into the other end. That one's going to be into touch, and that will go in the direction of the Hurricanes. So this is a Cedartown squad that is acting and playing much like we saw them in the first half. It almost looks like they took about a 4-minute break there in the beginning of the second half after going up those 2 goals. But now the pressure is on. Cedartown applying it. Cartersville in a must-win situation.
Unlucky, just lost control of the ball there. Rolls into touch. Cartersville gets the throw, looking to go quickly.
And then we've got another whistle. It's going to be once again against the Bulldogs, so that'll be a kick coming from Cartersville. These two teams, although maybe not as storied of a history with each other as football and baseball, still very familiar with each other. And I don't care what you're playing. Cartersville is about like Rockmart. The only thing you don't want to beat them to is the grave. Outside of that, we want to take home a win anytime we can.
Oh, that was well put, Sam. Beautiful words.
Well, you have a certain dislike for certain teams, and Cedartown with a breakaway. An opportunity here. Coming off the far side, they're going to have to try to get a kick in quickly, and that one's going to be disrupted, and it's going to be into touch out of the back of the area of play there, and it's going to be a corner kick coming for the Dogs.
Wow, Antonio Ramirez just got out quickly, wasn't able to keep the pace up with the Cartersville defense closing down on him. Was able to at least get the shot off and win the corner. Unlucky to get a chance to test the keeper there.
So Cedartown will set up for the corner kick. They send it in.
Oh!
Shot on goal, though. Good block there by the keeper. But Cedartown trying to keep it alive. Another big kick. That one's going to be just wide to the right.
And you don't mind that. Off of a corner kick, you really want the ball to go over the end line, either as a goal or a goal kick or as another corner kick. You really don't want that ball to be able to come back into play, because generally your numbers are all the way up at that point and you can easily be countered. So it's almost like in football where you want every drive to end with a kick of some type. Very similar scenario.
So Cartersville now going to try to go back on the offensive as that goal kick. And then this one goes into touch, and it will be Cedartown that'll send it back into play. They're working off the near sideline. Alex Segura up against the Cartersville defender. The Hurricanes win that battle, and now they're going to try to go back on the offensive. Cedartown, though, with the numbers. Gabriel Atkins there to disrupt it. They'll go back to Segura. Segura trying to work around the defender again, but the defender's going to get around him. Pineda comes from the backside and then on the front side, but they're going to get Pineda with a grab of the jersey from behind the Cartersville attacker there, so it'll be a free kick coming for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, good call by the referee. Good foul by Pineda as well. He may be on the verge of getting a card for persistent infringement. Saw the referee speaking to him as he walking away.
So in other words, you might get away with that once or twice, but if you just continue to do it,
absolutely,
you'll get a card from it.
Persistent infringement upon the laws of the game, as it's called.
Coming up on 10 minutes left to play. Some more subs coming in. Looks like both squads will make substitutions. Cartersville sending in a set of fresh legs. Looks like the Dogs are going to get ready to send in a set of fresh legs as well. Cedartown with a 4-3 lead over the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. Looks like number 18, Jose Torres, has come back into play for the Dogs. Cartersville with a chance here. But a good header there by Cedartown's number 5, Gio Hernandez. Send it out of play, or into touch. And off the throw back in, Gabriel Atkins there is there to disrupt it. Cartersville tried to get it back, but the Cedartown defense staying persistent. Pick up on a key word there from Brian. Good battle between these two teams.
Fabulous duel there.
That one will go into touch as well. It'll stay Cedartown possession. Cedartown will pick up the loose ball and send it in very quickly. Atkins working around midfield, sends it to the near sideline. It's going to be a chance now for Torres. Torres working from right around the 20. Sends it back to the middle of the pitch there, but then it's sent right back to him, and he's going to track down the loose ball. Atkins with it will send it over to Hernandez. Hernandez will work it back across midfield. They're going to try to work it to the right side. That's where Cedartown has the numbers. Cartersville, though, quickly adjusting defensively. The Dogs continuing to maintain possession, though. Atkins with it. right into the official. And so they just dropped the ball, and it's between the two players, I guess.
He honestly should have dropped that for more of a Cedartown ball instead of a 50-50 like he did.
Thankfully, Cedartown was able to get the possession. A shot wide left there by Tony Pinedo.
Boy, Tony's really been lively tonight, and frankly, all season. He just, like you pointed out earlier, the fluidity with which he moves in and out, and just the ability to take a shot out of nothing is just quite impressive.
So the goal kick there by Cartersville, but then it's into touch, and it looks like it's going to stay with the Hurricanes. So number 11 will send it in from right around midfield, and Cedartown's there just to break it up immediately, right into the chest of the Cedartown defender. And now we'll go back and forth with it. Once again, they're going to send it to the right side. And again, I'm starting now. It's taken a half and a half for me to see that movement. But like you said, Cartersville had the numbers on the left side, so Cedartown quickly tried to work it to that right side, but it went into touch, and then we send it back into play. And it's going to stay Hurricanes ball again as it goes back into touch.
We call that switching the field of play, and it really opens up quite a bit because as the defense then starts to flow, it opens up other channels. People lose track of their markers. So at any opportunity where you can send it out to that 1v1 scenario or even to the right back who's free in that scenario, you really want to take advantage of that time and space when you can.
Cartersville with a chance here. Cedartown defender's just going to step in there and put it into touch again just to clear it.
No question there. No need for anything fancy. It's around your 18. Just get it away and live to defend another day.
Cartersville sends it back into play, working with it against that far side. Cedartown again will clear it. It'll go into touch once more. And the Hurricanes will once again send it in. Continuing to work on the Cedartown side of the 50 as well as that far sideline, and we've got a whistle. And they're just readjusting, I guess. Didn't like where he was going to send it back into play from, so he backed him up a little bit.
Absolutely. Good job by the referee in that scenario.
Shot there is going to be well high. And so that'll be a goal kick, and we're going to have another sub come in for the Cedartown Bulldogs. Looks like number 14, Kevin Gonzalez, will come in.
Kevin Gonzalez, one of the goal scorers for Cedartown today. Coach just looking for counterattack option.
Cedartown's goal kick going to be brought back by the Hurricanes. They had a chance to possibly do something with it, but Cartersville was right there on top of it. Now Cedartown quickly on the defensive, working it back to the far side. Now they try to send it ahead to Tony, and that one is going to be into touch, and that one will stay with the Dogs, though. And this is where you start talking about that methodical movement up
Absolutely.
the field for the Dogs.
This is where you start to think about game management. You're at the 6-minute mark. Can you see out a 1-goal lead, being safe with the ball, not giving it away unnecessarily?
Through a Cedartown defender, but then one on the backside to clean it up in the form of number 22, once again, Sebastian Bermudez. We've called his name quite a bit tonight. Cedartown now with a chance. It's going to be one-on-one. You hear, and we've got a whistle.
Must have just been offside on that situation. I didn't get to see him when the ball was hit. Thought it may have been possible, but give the assistant referee the benefit of the doubt on that. He's been on the spot tonight.
So Cartersville will have the kick from the 25.
And so you would expect from here, Sam, for Cartersville to really start pushing numbers forward and exposing themselves at the back. So basically it'll either end up as a tie or Cedartown will end up with another opportunity for a counterattack goal.
Good stop there by Cedartown's keeper, sends it back into play. Cartersville, though, quickly trying to send it back on the other end, and that one is going to be into touch, and that'll be Cedartown possession. It'll come in around the 25, coming up on the 4-minute mark. That one into touch once again, and so Cedartown once again with the sideline throw. Two players tied up again, and this one is going to go into touch, but off of Cedartown. So this will be Cartersville possession. No, in the
referee corrects it.
Cartersville trying to clear it. Cedartown trying to still apply the pressure. This one's number 14 for the Dogs, Gonzalez, who just entered the game, or re-entered the game, I should say, with the shot, but a good stop there by the Cartersville keeper.
Nice hit. Just looked up, saw the keeper off his line a little bit, shaped that shot to the back post. Just didn't quite get enough loft on it. Well saved by the keeper.
There's Gabriel Atkins with the header to send it back in the direction for the Dogs that we want it to go, but that one's going to go into touch. But it'll be off Cartersville, so Cedartown with a chance once again, continuing to keep it on their attacking third. Trying to find you here in the midfield. Now they're going to work from the far hash mark. It's Tony with it. Tries to work it in, but then there's a shot, but that one's going to be well high. Good defensive stand there by the Hurricanes. So the goal kick coming from the keeper for Cartersville. There's another header. And again, it's Gabriel Atkins who sends it back.
Gabriel Atkins wears that number 6 and plays the 6th spot, as it's called, that holding midfield spot, to where your sole purpose is to defend that back 4 from any balls coming in to the striker's feet. He's able to blunt those attacks and get it quickly back into the playmakers. Does a fabulous job of that. He's been doing that for several years. Just a class kid on and off the field.
Cartersville sends it back. Hurricanes trying to get something going as we're coming up on the 2-minute mark, and that's just as quickly as this was a tie game at 3 each. Cedartown running the clock out on Cartersville with the 1-goal lead. It looks like we've stopped the time. Nope, we're still running.
Referee backing him up to take the throw deeper.
And now we will stop the time. I believe they're going to adjust the time on the clock, possibly. We'll keep an eye on the scoreboard. It's currently showing 1:50. The Cedartown coaching staff, of course, under the head man, Coach Joey Rice, assistant coach Kevin King, and then a whole other host of coaches on this Cedartown squad. Kevin Geyer, Ruri Torres, who was a fantastic player in his time. That was back during my time at Cedartown High School. Ruri and I, same age. Nancy Martinez, Anna Flores, all a part of this coaching staff. They did put the clock back to 2 minutes. So Cedartown will send it back into play. And now our time on our screen matches the time on the scoreboard here.
This is where you don't really want to rush taking the throw in. You pick the ball up, you drop it for the next guy to take the throw.
And it looks like he stopped the time again.
The referee's just warning him about the time-wasting tactics, saying if you pick the ball up, you need to throw it.
So he quickly addressed that.
Absolutely. He's seen it before. Here again, you're not running to take the throw in. You might even bobble the ball.
We do have a stop, though, this time for an injured Cedartown player. So he'll back everybody up. It's number 14 for the Dogs, Gonzalez, who's had a goal tonight. He's back to his feet already. Goes over, talks to Coach King as well as Coach Rice, and now we're back underway. Cedartown working it off of that far sideline. It's into touch again. This one's going to go the way of the Hurricanes, though, but time is not on the side of Cartersville.
Of course, you really only need about 8 seconds to get it from one end to the other and score, so.
There's a shot from deep for the Dogs. Stop there made by the keeper for Cartersville, quickly sending it back into play. Cedartown fighting with it around the 35. Cartersville's going to push it up, but then Cedartown's going to get it right back. It's going to be a Yahir that's going to go ahead. It'll be to number 8 for the Dogs, Segura. But now it's back to the sideline. Yahir once again trying to meet the defender, trying to keep the pressure on.
Oh, that was a nice move. Little V behind, opened up the space.
That one is going to go into touch, and that one's going to be off Cartersville, so it'll be Cedartown who will throw it in from around midfield. Looks like they're going to go ahead to Tony on the far sideline. He gets it ahead. Now they'll try to work it into the corner. Now they're going to come back to the middle of the field. Cedartown set up right in the middle. Shot on goal. Good stop there by the keeper for Cartersville. He's going to quickly boot it. The Cedartown defense was ready, though. The defenders were all lined up about where you, I guess, would want them to be, right around the 45, 40-yard line on their side of the field. And that is going to do it. The Cedartown Bulldogs are going to remain undefeated as they pick up the win over the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes by a final score of 4-3. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to wrap up this Friday night edition of high school soccer here on the Big AA. We'll be back after this on WGAA, the Big AA Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
The following
Bradford's Drug Store in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember, Bradford's for all your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacists take time to get to know you and answer any questions you may have. Go by and see Justin Strickland and all the folks at Bradford's, and be sure to use their convenient drive-thru. 500 North Main Street in Cedartown, 770-748-3100. Bradford's Drug, your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown. Or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
And once again, your final here from Cedartown Memorial Stadium, Doc Ayers Field. Your Cedartown Bulldogs 4, the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes 3. Brian, we saw exactly what we needed to out of this team in the second half, although it started off a little bit rocky. We had the 2-goal lead. We allowed Cartersville to come back and tie it up, but the Bulldogs then were able to turn up the pressure and the volume and pick up another goal to put them up by 1, and that would sustain the Dogs through the rest of this second half. Some takeaways from this game from the soccer expert in the room.
Well, I guess my first takeaway would be that Cedartown soccer never quits. Like, even when things are going against them, when the ebb starts to go the wrong direction, they're able to keep fighting through the tough fight. They're able to stay together, not get down on each other, stay together as a unit, and get back to playing the Cedartown style of soccer that these kids have grown up playing. So that's my biggest takeaway, is that this is a team, they really, really looked like they solidified themselves with that big comeback win last week against Hiram, and it's nice to see them continue that momentum into this next game, which was a very important win for Cedartown to get going ahead into next week's schedule with that murderer's row against Cass, against number 1 Dalton, against Altoona. So big, big win tonight. Really needed this win.
It's also a very tough loss for Cartersville, as they now have 4 losses in area play, and that could be a very tough road for them to overcome if they look to have a spot in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Of course, we're in an 8-team area. The top 4 teams move through. 4 losses in an area will just about do it for you in terms of knocking you out. They would need a lot of things to go right, probably about 6 to 8 different results to go absolutely perfect their way. So odds are against them. They're likely not going to see postseason, but we've seen stranger things happen, like we were talking about earlier. the ball is round. There's 2 teams on the field, and one team's got to win, so you just never know what's going to happen.
As you mentioned, the Dogs with some tough opponents coming up in area play. They will have to take on the Cass Colonels. They'll also have to take on that Dalton squad and that Allatoona squad. So a couple of very tough games for Cedartown coming up. Well, the Bulldogs improved to a record of 7-0, perfect on the season so far. Also perfect in area play, I should say, at 3-0. Cartersville, they fall to 1-5. They have a now 5-game losing streak and are 0-4 in area play. Well, this has been a fantastic broadcast tonight here from Cedartown High School. It has been a fantastic opportunity for us to bring you Cedartown High School soccer, which is something we do not get to do a lot of, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. For our cameraman, Andrew Carter, for my friend Brian Rohr, I'm Sam Branch. As always, saying tonight from the dock. Until next time, Bulldog fans, good night, God bless, and go Dogs.
W291 TS Cedartown.
Your home.